You know what I'm saying? Good afternoon, good evening. It's your boy, the real one, E-Motherfucking-Leezy. Hey, I hope everybody having a blessed week. We almost there, man. You know what I'm saying? Keep pushing. We almost at the end of the week. So just keep pushing, man. You feel me? Like, share, subscribe at your own leisure. Jonathan Killa Kuminga. Deal with it. With salute to my guy, man. How you doing, Brody? Jonathan Killa Kuminga. Just like I told everybody years ago. See, I see shit years in advance when nobody else see it. See, I already know Jonathan Kuminga's work ethic and skill set and how he can, you know what I'm saying, produce on a hoop court. And he's humble. If you got a work ethic, bro, and you humble, that's the signs of a great player in the making. I've been saying Jonathan Kuminga was our best player for the Warriors 3 years ago. But everybody was like, man, you tripping, man. Yada, yada. I'm like, but do you understand real hoop, though? See, I know what real hoop look like. I know what players are capable of doing, what he's not capable of doing. I seen it when he was a rookie 4 years ago when he first came into the league. I'm blessed, bro. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. I seen it 5 years ago when Jonathan Kuminga was even in high school, when he was at G League Ignite. I just see talent, bro, and I know who wants to be great and who doesn't want to be great. See, it's a lot of people sitting on raw skills, but guess what? They don't never put the work in to maximize their potential. They just got raw natural talent. But you're never ever going to reach those next levels if you don't put the work in. You can have all the talent in the world, but you only going to go so far without the work. When you put the work in, God going to bless you. Period. And everybody say, oh man, it's the Wizards. And that's how you know that the hate is real, because they're always going to try to minimize your greatness. You know what I'm saying? Because you won't sell out to what they want you to be. They're going to try to minimize it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's the Wizards. Meanwhile, weak-ass Warriors that same night lost to the motherfucking New Orleans Pelicans, a team that's not even trying to win. You get what I'm saying? A team that's getting their players back. A team that's getting got one of their players back off an injury, so you don't even know how they're going to show up. You're integrating him back into a lineup that he hasn't even played with or has no familiarity with. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know how that chemistry on the hoop court is going to turn out as far as executing on both ends of the court. You know what I'm saying? And they lost that game. Meanwhile, Jonathan Kuminga is doing everything in that Atlanta game. And this is with Jalen Johnson, their all-star player and arguably their best player and franchise player, went down with a hip injury. Early in that game, after like 5 minutes, after 7 minutes of playing, he went down. Here comes JK to the rescue. They could have packed it in. But JK said, nah, don't trip, bro. I got you. You forgot that I'm a champion and got all this experience playing with a great franchise, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? Playing around nothing but, pure, looks like champions, pure greatness, offensively and defensively. See, that experience did something for Kuminga. Sitting down, watching, and then being integrated and doing his thing, he's learning. And then in practice, staying after games to get extra shots up in his work. That's all about wanting to be great. I don't care about the naysayers. I don't care about any of that. I want to be great, period. And I know what I got to do to get there. And that's what you're seeing from Jonathan Kuminga. Jonathan Kuminga the other day scored every basket with a smile on his face. And it was nothing about being cocky, but he was just having fun. Because he knows the work that he puts in is going to be rewarded. The work that he puts in is going to be rewarded. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you're seeing. Jonathan Kuminga did everything so gracefully. Everything was so smooth. And guess what? What you never seen from Jonathan Kuminga, he was making contested threes. And guess what he did after he made those threes? It was right in the opposition's, right in front of their bench. After every shot, he turned to the bench before the ball even went in, and was talking to the bench as if he knew it was going to go in. It's sort of kind of like the Steph Curry look-away threes. That's Jonathan Kuminga was pulling contested threes. 3 for 4 from the three. That's commendable, bruh. 6 for 7 from the free throw line. 9 for 12 from the game. That right there, that's true. That's called the work. That's what you call work, period. Enjoying every bit of it with his teammates. You know what I'm saying? Dyson Daniels. They were having fun out there. It's like basketball really was, he was enjoying that. He didn't smile that hard in a Warrior uniform prior to the Jordan Poole, Kevon Looney, and Andrew Wiggins departure. They traded away all of the young future for the Warriors. They traded everybody. See, that's when Jonathan Kuminga was at his finest, when he was playing with the Jordan Pooles, players that he can relate to. You put all these other guys that he can't relate to around him. He can't relate to no fucking Draymond Green. You know what I'm saying? Draymond Green too busy sniffing up LeBron asshole. He can't relate to that. Shooting air balls and shit. Turning the damn ball over 100 times. How he gonna relate to that? Punching his damn teammates. How he gonna relate to some shit like that? Think about it. The Warriors look like damn fools, but guess what? This is what people don't really understand. The Warriors have always been fools. They have never ever made the right decisions when it came to player personnel, coaching. The Warriors didn't, you know what I'm saying? They always tricked off draft picks, all of it, like potential franchise players, from Penny Hardaway, traded him on draft night for Chris Webber, then tricked off Chris Webber. Billy Owens tricked off Billy Owens. Latrell Sprewell tricked off Latrell Sprewell. Tricked off of Monte Ellis. How many players have Gilbert Arenas tricked off of Gilbert Arenas? The Warriors have always tricked off players and coaches. Period. They've never ever really had great decision makers in the front office. They just never had it. They fucked around and lucked up with, you know what I'm saying, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Draymond Green, and then they got David Lee, and then they got David West. See, that was smart. And then they managed to get Andre Iguodala. So they start actually putting some stuff together. They start putting roster pieces together, and then KD, the league and the NBA and the elites forced KD to go to the Warriors, and then the rest was history. But they forgot the mastermind behind all of those acquisitions. It was the greatest basketball mind that we ever seen. Rest in peace to the logo, Jerry West. Jerry West masterminded all of that. See, people don't even understand that. Jerry West was behind all of that. Think about what I'm telling y'all right now. Jerry West was the mastermind. You know what I'm saying? They grabbed David Lee from New York. Nobody else was checking for David Lee. So the Warriors actually, Bob Myers, they actually, along with the guidance and the leadership from a player like a guy like Jerry West. Jerry West knows talent, that's why. Jerry West took a gamble on a 16-year-old kid from Lower Merion High School in Philadelphia. Nobody else was willing to take that chance. They even traded a player that helped them, a young, great player at that particular time, and Vlade Divac. They even traded Vlade Divac. And mind you guys, Vlade Divac had already been to an NBA. He already helped the Lakers get to an NBA Finals. They already had an all-star in Eddie Jones. Think about what I'm telling you right now. They already had an all-star in Eddie Jones. They choose mindset and the skill set and the willing to work hard to be great. You have to understand that. Like, you have to understand that. And that's what we seen. And the rest was history. JK is really just showing everybody what he's been capable of doing. And that's why I say everything is rigged up. The Warriors was just doing exactly what they were instructed to do. Damn well Jonathan Kuminga was the best player on the team. They knew that. But the way the NBA works is the Warriors already done milked 4 championships. They wasn't finna let the Warriors keep milking more championships. Why you think they start getting rid of their future? You know damn well if the Warriors keep Jonathan Kuminga, Andrew Wiggins, and Jordan Poole, and you put that with this squad, with a DeAnthony Melton, and the rest of them guys that came in, just think about the success rate that they would have. See, because guess what? It's somebody else's turn. That's how the NBA works. It's somebody else's turn. Going to be able to milk any more championships. Why do you think they made these type of moves? These are the type of moves that an old Golden State Warriors franchise would make. You're essentially trading cornerstones and key pieces to a potential championship team. You're trading them for nothing. Think about it. They're not going to extend Kristaps Porzingis after this year. Kristaps Porzingis haven't had a 2-year contract with a team, or haven't had a 3-year contract with a team in damn near 10 years. You're investing in damaged goods because it's all a rental. See, this is all done just to show everybody the demise of the Warriors. This is what happens when your franchise starts becoming the bottom feeder. All franchises go through it. What happened in Kobe's last 10 years as his days? Rest in peace to the Mamba. What happened in Kobe's last days as a Laker? His teams were garbage. There wasn't no more winning. That was out the door. And they start making these acquisitions, getting garbage players, older, injury-prone players. Steve Nash, Dwight Howards. They start getting certain players, right? Steve Blake. Like, you're not winning a championship with those guys. I'm sorry. Just not. And that's why Kobe Bryant exerted himself, you know what I'm saying? And his wheels fell all the way off. Because you gave him guys that's not going to be able to impact winning on a championship level team. That's just what it is. Mondo, salute, bro. Wanted to trade Clay for Kevin Love, exactly. And Mark Jackson had a lot to do with the mentorship and acquisitions of all those players. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. And look what they did with Mark Jackson. They replaced him with Steve Kerr because they already knew Steve Kerr's window. Steve Kerr was supposed to take the Knicks job. He damn near gave them a verbal agreement. He didn't sign, but he gave them a verbal agreement that I'm going to take the Knicks job. And then at the last minute, he switched and reneged and backed out of that and said, I'm going to sign with the Warriors, because he knew everything that Mark Jackson had built. All he needed to do was just come in and implement more ball movement. That was it, because Steve Kerr doesn't know anything about defense. He really don't know nothing about offense. He stole Greg Popovich's, because they really don't run a triangle offense either. They don't run a triangle. I remember he said that his offense is a combination of the triangle and or, you know what I'm saying, the pace and space, the ball movement. You know what I mean? But they don't really. But if you look at the Warriors' offense, They had players that was just capable one-on-one plays with a high basketball IQ. It was nothing about the offense that was really that special. They just had personnel that overcame a flawed offense. The Warriors' offense have always been flawed, but guess what? They didn't have flawed players. Think about what I'm telling you. They didn't have flawed players because they had players that when the play broke down, the players were able to make everything right. That's good. Iguodala was smart, athletic. He can score with the best of them. In transition, making great decisions, high IQ. Sean Livingston, great IQ, size, athleticism, length, skill. David Lee, size, athleticism, skill. They called him the white Chris Webber. Remember that. WCW. Remember they called that boy, what's the name, WCW? Y'all remember that shit? Alvin Gentry was the mastermind behind the offense. Y'all remember what Alvin Gentry, because Alvin Gentry, you know what he does? Develop talent. Remember when Alvin Gentry took over for the Pistons? Remember when Alvin Gentry took over for the Phoenix Suns? I will never forget, Alvin Gentry is the reason why Goran Dragic damn near turned into an all-star guard. In the last days of in the last years of Steve Nash's tenure as a Phoenix Sun, I remember him playing Goran Dragic and Steve Nash together. And I remember a moment about what's good with it. Salute everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like, share, subscribe if you new. I see a couple of new faces. Don't worry, I'm gonna get you as you know what I'm saying, moderators. You feel me? I appreciate the love and the support always. You know what I'm saying? I always want to be able to come on and talk some real hoop with y'all when I get the opportunity. So I'm just taking advantage of that. And I hope everybody having a blessed week, man. You know what I'm saying? We almost at the end of the week, so just keep pushing. Just everybody keep pushing, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's been long, stressful, you know what I'm saying, tiresome, I understand. You know what I'm saying? But we doing it together. We here. You feel me? We got one more day, then we can chill out and relax, depending on if you work a weekend schedule or not. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, our job as men are never done. We're fathers, we're husbands, you know what I'm saying? So we're caregivers, so we got to make sure that everything is right. It starts and ends with us, fellas. So, you know what I'm saying? Let's keep, you know, trailblazing. You feel me? Blessings to everybody. But remember, Alvin Gentry developed Goran Dragic, and I remember it was a game where I seen Alvin Gentry literally in the middle of the game turn Goran Dragic's career all the way around. Goran Dragic was a player that was very undecisive. He lacked confidence. He really second guessed himself. And I seen during a timeout, or I think it was during a free throw, I would never forget, because I pay attention to stuff like that. They had Alvin Gentry mic'd up, and they actually showed Alvin Gentry's exchange, because he called Goran Dragic over there, and he specifically told, I can't repeat verbatim, but it was something like this. He told Goran Dragic, he said, you're thinking too much. Just go out there and just play free and just be confident. I trust your skill set. He told him that. Salute, Realty. He told him that, and guess what happened? That game, I swear, from that moment on, Goran Dragic ended up scoring like damn near almost 30 in that game. And at that juncture of the game, he probably was only stuck on like 6. And then from that moment forward, Goran Dragic, the rest was history. And then we called him the Dragon, remember? Also, Alvin Gentry, his offense was more free flow. Look what he did with the Pelicans. Y'all remember the Pelicans? Look what he did with those Pelicans teams. Alvin Gentry, bro, and that's why I say assistant coaching matters. You want to give Steve Kerr all this credit. Steve Kerr is trash if he doesn't have the great assistants around him. Look at the type of assistants he got around him right now. A lot of them guys are garbage. Like Jerry Stackhouse, really? Come on now. Jerry Stackhouse ain't gonna be able to coach no NBA franchise. You see what he did when he went to college? That nigga went 0-16. He was like damn near 2-19 at Vanderbilt. Trash. And then he gets a head coaching job as an assistant, as a defensive specialist. But your college team was trash. You couldn't even teach teenagers how to play basketball, and you couldn't maximize their talent, and you couldn't recruit, you know what I'm saying, certain talent to fit your style of coaching. You're just trash. How do you think that's gonna transition, you know what I'm saying, over to the NBA? It's not. You see Steve Kerr, Terry Stotts is really the one that's out there coaching. Steve Kerr doesn't say or do shit. He makes zero adjustments. The players don't relate to him. In the team huddles, half of the players not even paying attention. Especially your main players. Klay Thompson at a point, Steph Curry and Draymond Green at a point, they talking to each other while Steve Kerr trying to tell everybody to run a specific play. Think about this shit, Mondo. And his son, you know what I'm saying, nepotism at its finest. What does his son do? What does his son do? That's why I say Steve Kerr's a politician, bro. The head man and politician, you employ your family members, your close relatives, and you put them in certain position hierarchy. That's how that works. Look at what LeBron James did, and I hate talking about this dude because he's like the worst player to be promoted as a superstar ever, in my opinion. Look what he did with his son. He destroyed his son's career by putting him on a level that he wasn't ready for. Bronny James should have went to a low-level Division I, a mid-major. If Bronny James, I would have more respect for his game if he would have went to a smaller Division I school and then went to the transfer portal. Look what Seth Curry, look what route Seth Curry took, you guys. Seth Curry, I don't know if y'all remember, Seth Curry started his collegiate career at the University of Liberty. I remember watching, because I watch mid-majors. I love watching the mid-majors play because those are where you find the CJ McCollums. Ali High, when they beat Duke and upset Duke in the tournament that year. And CJ McCollum went stupid, dummy, retarded. You know what I'm saying? It's NBA talent on every college squad out there. You just got to pay attention to it. But it's politics at the end of the day, whether you're going to be chosen or not. You know what I'm saying? So let's just put all of this stuff in a proper perspective. Put it in the proper perspective. Now, I would have respected Bronny if he would have did what Seth Curry did. Seth Curry went to Liberty, right? And then he transferred from Liberty to Duke. Think about that. Steph Curry didn't even go to Duke. Steph Curry stayed at Davidson. You feel me? 3 years he stayed at Davidson. Seth Curry was okay at Duke. He was. He was cool at Liberty. You feel me? That's what I'm saying. You have to understand how rosters and how teams are, how they're built. If you pay attention, these squads, bro, they're not really. These squads it's all based off of who the NBA wants to promote. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's all on who the NBA wants to promote. It's all on who they want to promote. Allen Day.
Hold on, I'm just setting it up. Getting all y'all right as moderators, bro. Make sure y'all good. I thought I added you as a moderator. Oh no, you're a moderator, Evan. Evanistics, you're a moderator. For sure, for sure. Yeah. Yes, sir. Play the background game to get. Right. If you look at Steve Kerr's tenure, bro, he wasn't a great player. But he played like the Scotty Brooks role. Remember Scotty Brooks? Scotty Brooks was in the NBA. The Bryce Drews, the Matt Maloney's, all of those players ended up turning into coaches. Bryce Drew was a head coach in college. Think about the things that I'm saying, bro. These players turn into coaches. They have to have these players on rosters. That's why they knew out of all the players that was on that team, on that Chicago team, Steve Kerr is the only one that turned into a coach. Except for Pete Myers. And Pete Myers was an assistant coach under Steve Kerr. Think about this. Or under Mark Jackson, I think. Was it under Mark Jackson or Steve Kerr? Pete Myers. Old school Chicago Bulls. That's what I'm trying to tell people, bro. They don't understand. They give. Oh no, you good, bro. It's not too much responsibility, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? We don't really block anybody unless it's like spam. Even if they come in and they're not agreeing with me, that's okay, because everybody has their own opinion. You're not going to agree with everything that I say. You have your own opinion, I have my own opinion. That's fine. Long as we can allow and respect each other's perspective, that's all I ask. You know what I'm saying? And then when we start name calling and all that, that's fine, but that's just you being emotional. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to get into the back and forth on that front. So it's all good. Like, you know what I'm saying? YouTube, bro, is really supposed to be for a community. And that's why I started my channel. This is not for me. It's no financial gain. This is all just for to come together and fellowship. You know what I'm saying? And just have real conversations. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Because I might be able to learn from people. You know what I'm saying? Some of my followers, we all learn and take little bits and pieces from each other. And that's how we become better. You know what I'm saying? To improve, our character. You know what I'm saying? Add a little bit, some flavor to our personalities. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is, bro. We learn and take bits and pieces from each other. You know what I'm saying? That's really my purpose, bro. I just want to help inspire and motivate, you know what I'm saying, other people to be great. You know what I'm saying? That's my whole job, man, is to teach, inspire, you know what I'm saying, motivate and support. I love supporting people, you know what I'm saying? So I just don't like the people that come on here and try to cap. Why would you come on here and cap when everybody know the real? It's just like, I don't care how much somebody is paying you. I don't care what business you're promoting or whatever the case may be. Just be unapologetically you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to try to put on to gain support from people. You know what I'm saying? Just to make a couple dollars. If these companies and these people can't recognize the true greatness that lies within you, then you don't need to be working with these companies. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just the way this world is structured for programming. We're not robots. Nobody's robots. Everybody talks, walks a little differently. That's fine. That's okay. Like, we don't all need to try to code switch. It's too many code switchers out here. Just be who you are, bro. Somebody's going to accept it. And that's all you really need. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you're already a trendsetter. Just by you being different, that's a trend. You're setting a trend. And guess what? There's going to be people that's going to follow that trend. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? But don't be afraid to speak your mind, whether it's a popular or not so popular. You feel me? Period, point blank. And that's how I roll. I'm always going to be me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not scared to be me. You know what I'm saying? Because I already know who's the final judge. You know what I mean? I know who's the final judge. We all should know who the final judge is. It's our Lord and Savior. Period, point blank. You know what I'm saying? And amen. Always. So, you know what I'm saying? That's a little bit of free game for y'all. But People don't really understand true greatness, though. And that's why Jonathan Kuminga is one of my favorite players in the league. I respect that grind. I love the grind. It's all about the work. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that Atlanta, I believe with Jonathan Kuminga and the way that that roster is constructed, and the coach, what's the coach? Come on now. I'm having a brain fart. What's the coach name for the Atlanta Hawks? Came from the Utah Jazz. But he was a college coach before that at Missouri. Not Missouri, one of them schools. I forgot what school it was. Somebody help me in the chat. What's the coach? It's on the tip of my tongue. What's the coach name for Atlanta Hawks? Quinn Snyder. Thank you. Thank you. Quinn Snyder. I love the way Quinn Snyder handled Jonathan Kuminga when Jonathan Kuminga probably made or shot over a double team. And he probably thought it was a bad shot. He pulled him to the side. You know what I'm saying? He called a timeout or whatever. He got in his ear and he instilled confidence in him. Like, I know you're capable of making that shot. You know what I'm saying? But on that next one, just recognize who doubled you on that one, kick it, and the ball will come right back to you on the backside. Like, it's stuff like that. Steve Kerr was not doing that. You feel what I'm saying? You smoke crack and you're proud of it. You're against ice smoke. Smoke the rock for the crack. March this Sunday. Man, I'm going to just pray for you, brother. You got a lot going on right now. You know what I'm saying? So you marching, you smoking, you feel me? So it's a lot going on right there. Like, you know what I mean? You're marching, you're smoking, and you're against ICE. So you need to figure out which one of those you're going to do in what order. I would probably go away with smoking the crack. That's probably not the most wise thing to do. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not against, or actually I am against ICE. I didn't mean to say I'm not against. I don't think what they're doing is morally correct. It's not just at all. And it's downright evil and cruel. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, but it is what it is. But don't put your trust and faith in man. I'm going to tell you that right now. If you put your trust and faith in man, you're always going to be let down, bro. Every time. Never put your trust and faith in man. Don't trust for our democracy to make morally and just and sound decisions when it comes to humanity. I'll put it like that. Like, when you put your trust and faith in man, because you have to understand who they worship. Just understand who all these cricket motherfuckers in high positions, who they worship. It's not God. You know what I'm saying? It's the opposite. So never put your trust and faith in man. And I think you'll be okay. I don't watch the news, like, you know what I'm saying? It might flash across my phone, but as far as seeking out that information, I don't need to seek out negative information. Everything is already negative around us. Everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everything. Even with basketball. They're always talking about somebody, like, you know what I'm saying? In a light to where it makes you judge that person. Like, I have 2 eyes. I have 2 ears. You get what I'm saying? I can make my own judgment. I can determine who I want to support and who I don't want to support. I don't need mainstream media telling me that this player is a good player when I know and I see my eyes and I'm like, dude, he's not really all that good. Like, you get what I'm saying? They promoted a certain player for 24 years, 23 years. And I'm looking like, okay, you got Kobe, McGrady, Iverson, all these other players. Why aren't they being promoted? Like, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't even make sense. At the Aloha Club in Oakland? Okay. Okay, for sure. That's on March 21st? Okay, I'm there. I'm going to make sure I put that in my calendar, bro. For sure, for sure. Yes, sir. I'm there, Mondo. You already know. That'll be good. I hope Jonathan and I hope John Kuminga stays healthy up until that time, and I hope he continues to average 25 to 26 points. I'm not sure though, but is Jonathan Kuminga do they have a game today? I didn't look at the schedule. Yeah, that's his revenge game for sure, for sure. So we gonna make that happen. Yeah, let's make that happen for sure. I'm gonna pull up. I'm always in Oakland all the time though. So, March 21st. Yep, yes sir. For sure, for sure. That's gonna be dope right there. You know what I'm saying? Toss a couple back. You know what I'm saying? Have some good refreshments. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna make it happen. We still gotta get on that hoop court too, man. We gotta set up a time. I'm gonna have to set up a time with you guys. You know what I'm saying? To get on that hoop court. Cause I know on a weekend it's a little bit too early for you, but maybe on the evenings during the day after I'm finished with my son's basketball, 8th grade basketball team. They almost finished. Maybe after that. Oh, you got burritos? Okay, we good. Oh, that's my favorite. Burritos is my favorite, bro. Let's go. I dare to eat a burrito every day for lunch. This is the only thing I got time for because I don't bring my lunch to work. So, yeah. So one day we had to, we gonna have to go to Cal. Cause I know you used to go. I know you're an alum. We gonna have to go to the RSF, bro. Or we can go to the Haas. Or we can get into the hospital. We gonna need enough. We probably gonna need enough to get into the hospital. But they be having practices and shit though. So, yep. But we can go to the RSF and get a nice little run in. You know what I'm saying? During the evening time, cause they be running. Back in the day, that's where I ran at. I ran at the RSF every day. It was eventful, competitive every day at the RSF. I swear, man. I used to love the RSF. Old school. Oh, for sure. For sure. Oh, yeah, I already know. Because I got another boy who worked there also who get me in too, though. But for sure. I already know. Mondo got connections. You know what I'm saying? So we going to make that happen. Facts. That's where I ran with all the athletes, bro. From the Sharif Abdul Rahim, me and J.R. Ryder, or everybody, bro. We used to get it in, bro. Me and little Jerome Randall. Now you see Jerome Randall. Salute to Jerome Randall, you know what I'm saying? Me and Jerome Randall had battles. All the football players, you know what I'm saying? Some of the baseball players, some of the track athletes, the women's basketball player. We used to get runs in there, bro. Real talk. I ran with Jeremy Lin. I remember Jeremy Lin came in. We ran against Jeremy Lin. Nate Robinson came to the RSA. We was running with Nate Robinson. We used to run, bro, and I had my battles with a lot of guys, bro. Like, real talk. I held my own, though. You know what I'm saying? They'd tell you for sure when I was younger. Now, you know, motherfucker got them motherfucking Dirk Nowitzki knees, bro. I don't know. The Dirk Nowitzkis. Oh, shit. But for sure. We gonna do it, bro. March 21st. Yeah, but I want to follow like the Hawks, bro, because the Hawks are pretty much in a similar spot as the Warriors. They're battling for a play-in spot. And people need to understand this. Even though the Warriors won yesterday, see, I knew that the Warriors were going to come out and blow Memphis out on a back-to-back. I just knew that was going to happen because Memphis is not playing. Did y'all see the way that coach Isalo or whatever the fuck dude name, Tomas Isalo? He's a terrible coach. He took over for Taylor Jenkins. I don't think that was a smart move by Taylor Jenkins. Memphis completely blew everything up. They were playing fucking Rupert last night. Rupert, that dude is trash can. Did you see the roster that he put on the court? He didn't even give Memphis their best chance to win yesterday. I was like, dude, I already knew that the Warriors was going to smash. It made it look like, see, when the Warriors win, y'all, it makes it look like they're really not a bad team and that they're a contender. the Warriors are a G League team, bruh. You got a bunch of old dinosaurs on that team and a bunch of G League stars. They're not going to be able to beat any formidable teams. They're not going to be able to beat any real great teams. Think about it. When they really go up against great teams, and I'm not talking about that fake ass game against Denver in which Denver blew 3 different leads in that game. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know that the shit be rigged up for the money. And Denver's not really all that, in my opinion, anyway. And Aaron Gordon is a difference maker. Aaron Gordon and Peyton Watson, even if they had Peyton Watson, they don't win that game because Cam Johnson is nowhere near a Peyton Watson. Cam Johnson is really not all that to me. Like, he's not really that impactful, in my opinion. Like, you know what I'm saying? T Prizzle, make sure y'all go follow the Old Head Podcast. My guy, salute, bro. Yeah, he's not really all of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and Denver, the Joker, and Jamal Murray is Denver's worst defenders. So you really can put them in every action and you'll be able to get great looks every time, especially if you have, you know what I'm saying, that ball swinging to the weak side and Joker is the next line of defense or Jamal Murray is on the closeout. You're going to be able to blow past Jamal Murray. And if what's the name is on your second line of defense, the Joker, he's just going to, he's just going to let you score. He's not going to challenge you at the rim. He doesn't take charges at his position. He doesn't contest shots. So that's why I say they're not going to win. I think Detroit has the potential to win a championship for sure. They're young, you know what I'm saying? But they do have veteran leadership. They have Karis LeVert. They have Duncan Robinson, who's been to an NBA Finals. They have Tobias Harris and Karis LeVert, which I mentioned. Who else? I can't really think who else do they have. Oh, they just traded. They traded for Kevin Huerter. They're just young. I like their coach, JB Bickerstaff. I like what he's doing over there. But they're just super young. But it's a couple of different, matchups that's out there for an NBA potential. I still feel like the Knicks is somehow going to find their way to the finals. You know what I'm saying? The Knicks might be in the finals, bro. Like, I can see the Knicks going to the finals against the Spurs. That's what I can see. The Knicks and the Spurs. We'll see what happens, but you know what I'm saying? Boston has the potential to get there if Jason Tatum can come back and get some reps in, and depending on how he play, but that's going to be a tough task. You know what I'm saying? They're going to, for sure, need 100% Jason Tatum if they want to make another run at this thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? And they made some trades, so it's going to be interesting. But, you know what I'm saying? I would say Boston, Detroit, and the Knicks, top 3. But then you also have Toronto in there. Philly is playing. They're right. You know what I'm saying? Down there like around 6. You feel me? And then you got Atlanta that can potentially get better as the season progresses. Orlando can get better too once they get, you know what I'm saying, Franz Wagner back and get Jalen Suggs and play with some consistency. It's a lot of different things that can happen. But I just think that maybe the Raptors and all those other teams are a little bit too young. The Raptors and the Magic a little bit too young, and Philly a little bit too young. But they got Paul George. I don't know if Paul George might come back for the playoffs, but and then you just don't know the health situation with Joel Embiid though. But to be honest though, I'm really looking for the Hawks in these next couple of years to make a giant leap. It just depends on coaching because I still feel that Quinn Snyder is really not that great of a coach. Like, you know what I'm saying? I still feel that Atlanta should be better than where they are right now. I think they have a better roster than what their record indicates. You know what I'm saying? But then also you got to factor into the strength of schedule. That matters too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just like Ant-Man. I'm glad that you made that point, KK. I'm glad that you made that point. Just like, what's the name? Remember what they told, what's the name? I don't know. We're no plan for future. Yeah. You back in the West Coast, T Prizzle? Shit, I didn't know that, bro. My bad, bro. I've been so damn busy, bro. I ain't had a chance. I'm gonna text you though, T Prizzle. That's a blessing, bro. I'm happy to hear that, bro. Real talk. Yeah, just like Steve Kerr told Ant-Man, we're not gonna draft you because you don't work as hard as Steph Curry. And ever since he told Ant-Man that, that's all Ant-Man has been doing is putting in the work. And you see Ant-Man's game developing each and every year. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember when he was in college, he was super athletic and he shot threes. That was it. There was no in-between game for Ant-Man. When he was at Georgia, it was a three or he dunking on you, period. Now you're starting to see him use his dribbles. You're starting to see him use footwork. You're starting to see him use post-ups. You're starting to see him use mid-range. That's because of the work. And that's the same thing you're going to see from Jonathan Kuminga. That's why I feel if you guys paid attention to that series last year between Minnesota and Golden State Warriors, Jonathan Kuminga, when he was inserted into that series after not playing in the first series against Houston, did you see how Jonathan Kuminga played and handled Ant-Man? Ant-Man was scared of Jonathan Kuminga. Ant-Man held his own. I mean, Jonathan Kuminga held his own against Ant-Man and then gave him damn near 30 a game on offense. They didn't have an answer for Jonathan Kuminga. How you don't know how to incorporate that? That makes no sense. If you are a real teacher of the game and a real coach and a real adversary, you would understand how to maximize the talent on your team. I've never, ever heard a coach ever say, oh, man, Jordan can't. He just doesn't fit with our system. Nigga, what system? Basketball is all about making plays. The system ain't shit without the players. What the fuck? Nigga, you supposed to alter your system around talent. Why do you think the Warriors are a bottom-feeding team right now? Think about what I'm telling you. The Warriors are a bottom feeder because of system. Do y'all understand that? The Warriors are a bottom feeder team because of a system. Meaning, I have to have certain players to play in the system. What you mean? Certain players to set screens and pass the ball to Steph Curry? That makes no sense. Steph Curry now is in danger. Steph Curry's rest of his career is fucked up. Remember this, y'all. Steph Curry never had knee problems ever in his career. Except for that one time when he injured his leg against, I think it was Portland or the Pelicans, I think. And he came back, remember? And that's when he was like, and he came back against Portland. He was like, I'm back. I'm back. When he lit them up in overtime. Kobe Bryant Film Room. What's good with you? Salute to my guy. Make sure y'all go follow KB Film Room, man. Kobe Bryant Film Room. He got some great content over there. Right. Yeah, because Kerr is a politician. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Politicians lie. They're deceitful. They look like they're great, but they're really not. Period. You know what I'm saying? Politicians, it's a dirty game, man. This political shit, realm, is a dirty game. Like, it's just a bunch of liars and cheaters. Remember that show that used to come on HBO, or I think it was Showtime back in the day? It was called Lies, Sex, and Videotape. See, they put all of this shit right in front of your face. It was called Lies, Sex, and Videotape. I remember that shit. I never watched it. I just remember the name always used to come on. It was a show. I don't know how many years it was on for. A couple of years or something like that. But I remember that show. And they put all of that shit. They put everything right in front of our faces. Period, point blank. But the system, think about it. Everybody is looking at Guy Santos, Brandon Pajemski. They're looking at all these different players and like, man, Guy Santos is a baller. Oh, Brandon Pajemski. Oh, they looking at all these different players, but I'm like, they're just G League players. GP2 out here. GP2 is okay, but there's no real impact on winning. You get what I'm saying? If you put Guy Santos on any other team in the NBA, it's not really gonna go that well. It's not gonna go that well for them. Yes, that's facts. That's facts. They should have. I like that. You know what I'm saying? Queen Love 1003 said Kerr let Draymond run the Warriors into the ground. That should have been Mark Jackson's team. Kerr is a beta. Real talk. That's real talk. Like, but GP2's not capable of doing that. Like, you know what I'm saying? The Warriors just have a bunch of guys, and they're just out there just playing. Steve Kerr isn't really doing any real coaching. All they're doing is just backdooring, cutting, passing, make the extra pass, backdoor, cutting. There's not really a lot of playmakers on the Warriors. Think about what I'm telling you. Brandon Pajemski's not an elite playmaker. Like, really? You chose Brandon Pajemski over everybody? Can you imagine Jordan Poole being in that Brandon Pajemski spot with Jordan Poole's skill set? I'm just saying, if these teams really wanted to keep winning and turn their franchises around, you would understand how to roster construct, how to build rosters. How can you not see what talent should be on the court and have the ball in their hand making certain decisions? That's easy to do. As an NBA head coach, you have days where you have film room, film study, and practice. How you can't develop the talent that you have? It's like these coaches leave it all up to the players. And that's why I don't like what the NBA has turned into. There's no development. Jonathan Kuminga is out there putting in the work on his own. There's no coaches in the building with him. Think about this. Back in the day, you had coaches that actually will lead film room study. We're going to break down film, and they'll tell you and point exactly what places and what spots you could have did this and did that from. You know what I'm saying? And what that would have freed up. You had your assistant coaches. You had all your regular coaches in that film room with all the players. And they would study film. That's all they would do all day. And then when you see them step back on that court, you'll see the necessary changes and adjustments being applied from film room. That's called coaching. That's called getting better, developing. You don't see that now. AAU has destroyed, and I said this a long time ago, AAU has destroyed basketball. Look what's going on with Darren Peterson. And also the rule changes. Why would you say these players can't come out of high school anymore? So this is what you're going to have with the NIL shit fucking it up, AAU fucking it up, load management, all this shit. And then the 1 year rule. You have to sit out, you have to wait until you're 19 or whatever, or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Instead of saying, you know what, y'all gotta have 2 years of college experience. If you're gonna do that, why put an age restriction on everything? Like, you know what I'm saying? Just allow the players to come straight up out of high school. Hey, Heron, salute to my guy, bro. They want the college. See, everything is about money, but it's not really about teaching and developing. That's why you have a lot of robots. See, everybody tries to be like everybody else. There's no true authenticity or no originality left. Everybody is a carbon copy of another player. Think about what I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? All these players do the same thing. They have the same mentality. It's a weak mentality. Oh, I'm sitting there. Yeah, the Wolves, shout out to them Wolverines. They've been balling. They faced them Dookies, though. It was a problem when they faced them Dookies. Dookies dominated that game. Or they literally controlled tempo and dictated pace. And they executed, you know what I'm saying, for a majority of the game. I thought that Yaxel Lindenborg, he didn't have enough help. Lindenborg didn't have enough help, you know what I'm saying, on that in that Duke game. You know what I'm saying? So But hopefully they turn it around though. They still should get a number one seed though in the tournament. But yeah, now all these players, you have players now in college that's scared to go 100% because they think it's gonna mess up their future NBA contracts. Like, I thought the whole purpose of going to college was to first get an education because you're a student first, student athlete, student athlete, student comes first. So that's your first primary goal right there. Whenever you step foot on any campus that you're in, your primary goal is to get your education first. Education, yes. Look it up in the books of Ebonics, in the dictionary. The Ebonics dictionary, education. So first off is to get your education. Second, then you're an athlete. So if you're going to go to college, I'm trying to win on every level. Shit, I want my name to be in the history books too with the great college players. I want to win a college championship. Some players will never experience winning an NBA championship. Look what Carmelo Anthony's career looked like. You know what I'm saying? We'll think that he didn't have a successful career. He was top 10 in scoring before KD and James Harden cracked the top 10. I think he's like number 11 or 12 now. But Carmelo Anthony had a solid career in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Solid. Never got the chance to play for an NBA championship, but guess what he did? As a true freshman, he won a fucking national championship as a true freshman at the University of Syracuse under Jim Boeheim. Do you know, in a Big East, that was tough back then when it was still real basketball being played. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't no NIL deals and transfer portals and all this bullshit. Not when Carmelo Anthony was going to college. You know what I'm saying? So winning a college national championship is a huge accomplishment on your basketball legacy. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can take that away from Carmelo Anthony, what he was able to achieve as a true freshman, leading his team in rebounding and scoring and field goal percentage. Dude was an outright baller. You know what I'm saying? And he got gold medals. You feel me? And he's in the Hall of Fame twice. One as a redeem team and one as a player. So he accomplished a lot. But the reason why I brought that up is because these players really don't know the position that they're in and what they have a chance to do being in college. Think about that. You got to take advantage of your college career. And my advice to Darren Peterson, go out with a bang. If you're only going to go one and done, make that the most memorable 1 year of school as an athlete and, you feel me, as a student that you'll ever see. Well, you still got time to go back to school, you know what I'm saying, and complete, you know what I'm saying, your college courses and credits to obtain your degree. But what I'm saying is, make sure that 1 year as an athlete, make sure it's a memorable one. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're not going hard, you will get injured. If you're nonchalant, going through the motions, you're going to get injured. Play your heart out, man, and try to win a national championship. You feel me? I commend players that really take the game of basketball or any sport seriously as far as competition. Because that's what this is all about, you guys. It's all about competition. Announcers appreciating it, bro. Real talk. Real talk. The announcers loved everything about what Jonathan Kuminga was bringing to the game. And you know the cold part about it? The comfort level that Jonathan Kuminga played with in that first game, it was so rewarding. It was so free. It was just everything about it, bro. It was just, I just love to see it. I didn't watch the game, but I seen highlights. It was such a breath of fresh air. Because guess what? It didn't feel like he had shackles on him while he was on the court. He was able to read the floor. He was able to play make. He was able to take certain shots without being reprimanded for it or having to look over his shoulder and worry about if he was going to be subbed out of the game for the next 2-3 quarters. You feel what I'm saying? He was able to play free. And guess what? That's all the game of basketball is. The way that the game of basketball is played right now, it's less structure. They just let you go. Back in the day, everything was structured because coaches actually ran sets. They don't run sets like that. They just run ISO ball. That's their set. If you look at a coach call a play out, they'll run a play, a high, and everything is high pick and roll. Everything is a high pick and roll. It's like I'm trying to create the mismatch, but actually there is really no mismatch. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these players today, everything is switchable. So if you're going to run a high pick and roll, switch. Because it's no true centers out there anymore. You know what I'm saying? Everything is designed to get a mismatch. But guess what? With true greatness, there's a mismatch every play, no matter who's guarding me. That's the mentality that you have to have. Oh, this is a mismatch. Oh, who guarded me? Kobe? Oh, coach, give me the rock. He can't fuck with me. And I'm just making a point. I'm not saying that, but just believe that it was players out there that would attack Kobe and think that they could take Kobe. Because they thought, okay, Kobe going to be aggressive trying to reach or beat me to the spot. I'm going to hit him with a jerk, a crossover, and I'm going to get to this spot. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's some of the mindset that went into some of these players. Even though Kobe is a all-time great defender. Gary Payton the same. But there were coaches and players that would attack the best players. Think about that. There were coaches and players that would attack Michael Jordan. Let's just keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? Because that was real basketball. Let's make them work. If he's a great defender, guess what? My advantage is let's make him work then. If we can make him work on defense, then that's going to help us in the long run when it comes to, you feel me? Playing defense when he gets the ball on offense. It's hard to sustain that level of play, you know what I'm saying, consistently on offense and defense throughout the whole game, unless you have a great attention to detail, you're super physical, you have a high basketball IQ, and your competitive nature is higher than everybody else's on the floor. Them are the only players that really are going to give it to you on both ends of the court. Period, point blank. That's crazy. That's what Kawakami said, Mondo. Right, that part. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not sure if Paul Pierce spoke on it. I didn't see that. I have to keep looking at it. Literally showcase. He needed some Southern hospitality for sure, for sure. True, KB. Have fun at college, man. It's a great experience, man. You know what I'm saying? Great experience. But just be careful who you let up in your dorm room. I'm going to tell you that right now. Check that Adam's apple. Check that Adam's apple. Let's go. Just needed some Southern hospitality. Kuminga literally showcased everything that Golden State tried to claim he couldn't do in some ways. Kirk couldn't have been more exposed. Wilbon apologizing for despairing him. Spears admitting error, yeah. But you know what I didn't? Marcus Spears kind of slided him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? On the NBA Today or what's the name? The little post-game thing. I thought that Marcus Spears had said some shit that was kind of like, he kind of slided Kuminga a little bit. Like questioning if he can keep it up and we'll see and all that. Come on, bro. You know Kuminga is a consistent 30-point game player. Let's just think about that. He gave Kawhi Leonard 30. Remember that? Do y'all remember that earlier in the season when the Warriors played the Clippers? Kuminga gave him 25. What are we talking about? And Kawhi Leonard is one of the great two-way players. So we got to be careful. Yep, they let him out of jail. Muhammad and everyone else ducking the smoke. Yeah, they going to duck the smoke. They going to duck the smoke. It was a compilation from he saw one place and it was 30-minute clip. Yeah. He was a dog for sure. And Kobe will run through them damn screens. But that's why you have to have great team defense too. It's very, very hard to play individual defense when you have to chase a player all around the court. That's why it's 4 other players on the court. You need a collective of guys to defend at a high level. Like, you know what I'm saying? KG was signing with Kuminga and PP was giving Kerr benefit of the doubt. Yeah. That's all. How can you hate on a player, bro? Like, that's why. How can you hate on a player like Jonathan Kuminga? Yeah, he wasn't happy. You could tell. Spears, because you know Spears kind of lightweight got, you know what I'm saying, a tie to the Warriors, so he's loyal in a sense. But you can tell, like, everybody is waiting on Jonathan Kuminga to have one bad game in a Hawks jersey, have 3-4 turnovers, shoot miserably from a field goal percentage standpoint, so they can flame him. They'd be like, oh, that was a good, what's the name? I'm like, come on, man, really? Yeah. They can make a playoff run in the Eastern Conference easy. You know what I'm saying? That's my fault, y'all. I'm on YouTube Live instead of StreamYard. I wish I had StreamYard so I could invite y'all to the stage. So instead of y'all having get carpal tunnel in your fingers, you can fucking speak freely on a mic. My bad. I gotta stop doing that. I promise next time I do it, I'm gonna go to StreamYard and do my live so I can invite people up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we get tired of talking, bro. I be wanting to hear everybody else's perspective. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you spitting in the chat, then I can just, you know what I'm saying, read it. Lamando said, I'm excited to see JK get to take his intensity to next levels. They can make a playoff run this year. Yep. It's funny as hell. Evanistic says, it's funny as hell watching these Kerr defending media members squirm to justify how JK doing well isn't a judgment on Kerr. It's crazy. The NBA is it's more than basketball. Yeah, it's super political, bro. And I always say that all the time. The NBA hates me. YouTube hates me because I keep it too honest. But I'm me, unapologetically. You know what I'm saying? Until we get some real change, bro, I'm going to be the voice for the voiceless about here. The NBA is shit water. I'm not excited to watch NBA anymore. I'm more excited watching my children 8th grade games and coaching than I am watching an NBA game. It's like, because all the NBA games is a bunch of actors. It's staged, bro. Like, they play uncharacteristically bad and shit when you bet on these teams. Everything is about the betting, and it's too obvious. At least back in the day, maybe it was obvious back in the day to the elders that watched the game. I know it was a little bit more disguisable because I was younger and I didn't actually know and understand what was happening in them games. But every era had, you know what I'm saying, a time to where the games was looking like it was just really being rigged for certain teams to meet up and match up in certain moments of the season and playoffs and all of that, like just for the spectacle. And you know what I'm saying? So every era had it. It's just everything is more exposed now. Everything is being allowed to be exposed. So, but the NBA really isn't all that exciting to me. You have a bunch of teams that's not even trying, tanking, coaches not even giving their best effort at putting the right lineups on the court. Weird stuff. Kawhi Leonard just quit in the middle of a game. It's like, why did you quit, bro? You had a chance to win a ball game. Like, but then you say you want to be mentioned with the greatest. It doesn't even make any sense. That's why I don't compare none of these dudes to Kobe. Kobe is the last of a dying breed. The last. There's nobody that's on Kobe's level. And Kobe got the keys from Jordan. So, you know what I'm saying? And Jordan got the keys from Magic and Bird and Isaiah. You know what I'm saying? And Dumars and all of them. So there's levels to this shit. Once Kobe retired, bro, the NBA became a straight shit show. It's very, very hard to digest. It's very, very hard to really pay attention to 48 minutes because you see players doing uncharacteristic things, but they want to be glorified and applauded for it. And I'm like, really? Why would I applaud you? All I do is see a bunch of crying and a bunch of challenges and a bunch of flopping. That's all the NBA has become. Flopping, crying, challenging. Goodness gracious, bro. Why is the game? I thought they wanted to speed the pace of the game up. So why are we calling so many fouls, shooting so many free throws, in essence, which stops the game? And then we're challenging, reviewing everything. How is that good for the eye? How is that good for spectators, fans? If we're watching a game, even if we come to a game, who wants to have the game pause for damn near 5 to 10 minutes trying to figure out why 3 referees, or maybe even 4 at times, have 6 eyes on the court and nobody can see the right call in real time? What the fuck are you looking at? Like, you have 6 eyes looking at the same damn play. What are you looking at? Oh, no, I'm looking at this over here. Well, you can't pay attention to every damn thing? Shit, I can see this shit on TV. Why you can't see it and you standing 3 or 4 feet away from the action? You can't see that? That's what I don't understand. Somebody got to be able to see something in real time. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Kobe Bryant Film Room said Kobe and Jordan game flawless, but what made them great was their heart was different. Can't nobody be compared to them. That's facts. KK's 2360 and all the crying, flopping, challenging isn't even good basketball. Right. It's not good basketball at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what are we doing, man? It's just, I don't want to see that shit, y'all. Come on now. We got to be better than that, right? Just in my opinion. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? KK's 2360. Differences is that MJ and Kobe didn't care about the rigging. They said bet regardless, right? Right. That's facts. They did their thing regardless of anything, bro. So, it's just one of those things, bro. But everything goes through its stages, bro. Everything is a cycle. Everything is a cycle. So everything repeats itself. So the NBA is going to get back. See, sometimes in certain games, they allow the NBA, they allow them to play physical, where you'll see 3, 4, 5 possessions in a row where it's no whistle called, which in this new NBA that they promote, they probably would have been blew the whistle. So that's encouraging. Everything is a cycle, so it'll repeat itself. You'll start to see the game get back to being real competitive. A lot of trash talking. We already had like 3 or 4 fights already. You know what I'm saying, in this calendar season. So that's a good sign. That lets me know that they care. Not everybody likes each other. You know what I'm saying? And even if they are good friends, at the end of the day, sometimes it's a war when we on this court and there is no friends. We can get together after the game, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, in the suites and the club rooms and all of that, and we can kumbaya and all of that. But while we on the court, I don't like you, you don't like me. Let's go, mano y mano. But I got a high level of respect for you. And that's what true competitive is, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why I respect Russell Westbrook so much. So, facts. I can't vote for an MVP that gets 1/3 of their points from the free throw. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. I don't understand why a lot of players try to trick the referees into calling fouls. Just be strong with the rock. You'll get the call. If you get the call, you get the call. But just try to make a real basketball play and score. Why do you have to try to trick them? Oh, and shit. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? Nobody want to hear you scream on a hoop court. What's all that yelling? Hey, what the fuck is all of that? Nigga, just play basketball. Make a strong move and try to score through contact. The referees give you the call, so be it. That's why Kobe was so great. You know why? Kobe worked on shots. You know what I'm saying? That were and one shots. Where you would get the call or you ain't going to get the call. But guess what? Kobe would look at the referee and just shake his head. But Kobe practiced those shots. Like, you know what I'm saying? Michael Jordan practiced those shots under duress. Just in case they don't get the call, I still got to focus on making this shot. You get what I'm saying? That's how you play the game. Work on this shit. You have to work on these shots, bro. The NBA, and that's the political part of the NBA. Like, it's sad, you know what I'm saying? But that's just what it is, though. You know what I mean? Hopefully everybody hit that like button and subscribe button. I appreciate everybody, man. But yeah, we gonna keep a close eye on JK, man, because I'm rooting for JK. And I don't care if JK have bad games, because that's part of life. Nothing is gonna be, you're never ever gonna be perfect. And that's what they try to promote LeBron James as, if he's flawless and a perfect individual. LeBron James came into the NBA flawed out of high school. And he never really got better, but the media was so, you know what I'm saying, riding his cabbie sacks, that it would make you believe that LeBron James is exempt from any accountability or any flawlessness. Like, you know what I'm saying? It would make you think that he's just a perfect individual. But our two eyes tell us, like, this dude isn't really all that great. And that's what I'm saying. I can respect players that puts the work in, that doesn't need to be boasted. They don't need to be boosted on this pedestal, because you can obviously tell and see their true greatness. You know what I'm saying? Based off of their talent, skill level, and their work. It's really all it is to it. So I'm going to keep paying attention to JK, man. I wish him the best this season. I wish he could stay healthy, because he has been nicked up with injuries here and there. He needs to pick his spots a little bit better. In my opinion, I would just say, just have more of an awareness of your surroundings when you're making certain moves, when you're jumping, people that's jumping in the air that might try to come down and roll up on your legs. You have to have an awareness when you're on the court to avoid certain things from happening. You have some control. Some things are beyond your control, and then some things you do have control over. And your awareness, you have control over that. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you're just goofy and you're not aware, KD is a player that's not aware. My bad, KD. Anthony Davis, he has low awareness. He doesn't really understand his positioning when he's jumping, when people's around him, jumping, coming down. He gets a lot of injuries just by not being aware, like, real talk. Like, his awareness, like, on the basketball court is crazy to me. I'm like, dude, you so goofy. How you keep getting injured? Reaching when he shouldn't reach. Just, like, playing hella, like, limbo. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, that's really all it is, bro. Just having a certain level of awareness. You can play hard. Don't play hard and out of control, though. It's a different. That's how you get injured also. Being out of control. Chris Paul had a lot of little injuries, which he could avoid it if he just didn't play out of control. See, because Chris Paul would really play like a brat if he didn't get his way. And you know how children are when, like, if you're a first child, or no, not first child, if you're an only child and you don't like sharing your toys, or you get put on punishment and something is taken away from you because you're so used to being coddled and spoiled, they start throwing a tantrum. That's how Chris Paul was sometimes when he felt like he made a mistake or things wasn't going his way. Or the ref wouldn't call a call. He'll take a dumb risk and come up in there and try to be aggressive and then just reach his hand in there or just do something to get himself injured. I'm like, dude. Or he'll try to do that move where he try to flop or just run in front of you and then he'll get injured. It's just like, you have to have a certain level of awareness, bro, and control. Like, you know what I'm saying? Self-control and self-awareness is a big part of your development as an athlete, as a human being. You feel what I'm saying? And these players have to do a better job of recognizing those things. These coaches have to do a better job of recognizing these things, implementing these things, teaching these things. You know what I'm saying? It's imperative, bro. That's important. You know what I mean? So they have to do a better job, though. But we're for sure going to keep eyes on Jonathan Kuminga. You know what I'm saying? I think Jonathan Kuminga is going to turn out to have a great career, in my opinion. But we'll see what happens. But I'm for sure rooting for the Hawks, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I want justice served. This is a situation to where justice will only be served if the Hawks can go further than the Warriors, you know what I'm saying, in the playoffs. And they can also, and Jonathan Kuminga can also have a super impact in that happening. You know what I'm saying? Because that's only going to make the Warriors look like a shit show. And teams are going to be like, man, I don't want to go to the Warriors. If that's how they're treating motherfuckers, I'm cool. If they don't want to build and construct the roster the right way, because Steph Curry isn't going to be able to last and play at an elite level for the rest of his career. His days are numbered. Think about this. Never had no real knee injuries. He's missed a lot of games because of a knee injury. It's called runner's knee. They're running him into the ground. For sure, for sure. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, Evan. Yeah, watch his first game back in Golden State. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah, facts. Facts. But, I mean, that's my time, man. I just wanted to come on here and holler at y'all. You know what I'm saying? Just got to the crib. Well, I've been in front of the house for a minute. But I'm going to just go in here and settle down, check in with the wifey, make sure she good. And just kind of decompress a little bit. But I want to salute you guys, man. Salute to everybody that came into the building, man, and showed your boys some love. I appreciate the engagement. Also, I always love engaging with you guys. You know what I'm saying? I hope everyone has a blessed rest of the week. You know what I'm saying? Always love my guy KB Film Rooms, Evanistics, Amando, you know what I'm saying? KK. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? Deal with it. That came in here. Lazy D, I appreciate you too, bro. The real T, everybody who came, you know what I'm saying, and showed your boy some love. T Price, Old Head Podcast, my guy. Salute to everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all, bro. It's much love always, and you already know how I roll. It's always love, live life, and smile, cry, and laugh. You know what I'm saying? You'll thank me for it. Smile, cry, and laugh. And I'm not saying cry intentionally. What I mean when I say cry, don't be afraid to show emotion if you're watching a movie, a TV show, if there's a story, if you're reading something and it makes you emotional on the inside. It's okay to let out real tears. If there's tears from something triumphant, you know what I'm saying, from a story, from a show, a movie, a sitcom, anything, you know what I'm saying, that'll make you feel like I'm getting emotional, don't be afraid to let those tears out, because that's showing true and raw emotion. That's therapeutic. That's why I always say laugh, smile, and cry. Those three things are therapeutic. You get what I'm saying? They're stress relievers, real talk. And you might not think it is, but it is. Trust me, believe me. You know what I'm saying? So, and it'll keep you young. You know what I'm saying? Young and vibrant. And eat good too. Watch your diet. And more raw fruits and vegetables, which I need to do a better job at too, because I'm a foodie. But I am going to do a better job. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate y'all. Love, live life, smile, cry, laugh. Until the next time, man, real E-Leezy, we gone. Salute. Let's go, JK!